the first thing that comes up on your list is take care of your team's 401k plan. Where do you go to set something like that up even?
Well, so we could talk about that real quick, but I just want to directly hit the conclusion of the
Sure.
40 things, right? Because at the end of the day, these 40 things are just gim tricks, are just really interesting ideas, and some might be good for some people and some might be good for others. The real bottom line is that as a manager, as a boss, it's up to you to understand what your team needs. And if you are a good listener and you can accommodate them, then they will stay and they will love you. Right. And so that is the most important thing. And these are just 40 different ideas. And so 401k is just one of those things. And it's one of the first things that I was able to quickly change in my firm, because when I started understanding more about 401k and I started understanding more how the corporate culture is about 401k, I realized that it's completely flawed. And I started piecing it together, and I was like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to change the policy. And because, us being lawyers, we draft bylaws, we draft corporate documents for clients. Clients need a employee handbook. They hire us, they hired another company, and it's like a template. And so a lot of these things, these terms and these conditions, they're all set by people that's behind a desk long time ago, right? And
Yeah.
so when I look at the 401k, a lot of times it's like, oh, we contribute, we don't contribute, how much do we contribute, and all these little nuances. And I could just imagine a lawyer a long time ago creating this for the benefit of the company, and nobody's really looked at it since. But if you take one good look at it, it's like this policy is not in the best interest of the company or the employer or the employee. So let's just scrap everything and redo it. So that's one of the first things we did. Instead of having all these crazy contingencies on when a company gets to invest for the employee and when the employee gets it and when they can withdraw, it's just all so convoluted. And the middleman, really the handler, gets to make all the money. Instead of that, just whatever your salary is, we will just automatically contribute 3% of that. And we said that 3%. If your company is better, you could do 5% or 10%, but we just automatically contribute. You don't have to worry about it. It's in your retirement account. And when you retire, you get a little nice benefit. And there's a lot of pros and cons to this when you think about it, right? A lot of employers are like, well, no, then, I kind of, if the employee doesn't put it in, then that means we get to save the money. Yes and no, right? Because you're contractually obligated to set aside that amount for the employee, right? Because you promised them it. And so you can't really touch it. And if you can't really touch it, you can't really invest in it. You can't put the money to good use. It's just sitting there. And so it becomes, wasted. So it's much easier for accounting purposes just to say we're automatically going to contribute 3%. You don't even have to put a cent into your 401k. We're just going to do it for you. And then the employees hear that, they're very happy. It's as if they just got a 3% pay bump
Yeah.
on whatever they have, right? So little small things like that just to tweak. It's that doesn't really harm you, but it will greatly benefit them. These
Yeah.
are the type of things to kind of go through your thinking when you're working with different people on your team. What do they need? Contractors, what do they need? Part-time, what do they need? Interns, what do they need? People who are thinking about retiring, what do they need? Right now, what we're seeing is a lot of people are coming back to work because inflation is so high. So we have people who have been on maternity leave or people who have been stay-at-home moms for 10, 15, 20 years. Now they need job experience coming back into the workforce. People who've retired and now wanting to come back, but they don't want to work that much. So can you create something of value for them where they enjoy it and it also benefits you? So every person is different. And as long as you really pay attention to what their needs are, and they can potentially really contribute to your firm.
Well, that's great. So another one is life insurance. Like, just practically speaking, like, are there companies you call up and they like do this stuff, or did you have to search to find one? How did you go? Because
Yeah.
setting up a 401k account seems like outside your real bro or wheelbarrow, whatever that is to say.
So the 401k plan, there's a pension company that sets it up for you. It's kind of like a trust. When I was looking at the documents, even I just had to re-sign all the policy documents every year. It's almost like an irrevocable trust that we create for clients, but they create it in a sense of it's a pension, it's a policy, they're the managers, and then they tell an investment company what are the terms and how much to invest. And so it's your book person manages everybody's payroll, and then you give it to the CPA. They file the taxes, they check the payroll, how much their salaries are, and then now this third party, right, this pension company says, oh, you gave 20 employees this much salary, and they all deserve 3% based on your policy. So this is how much you need to put into your account. So then they tell you, and then now you take that amount, you put it in the account. And then there's a now fourth party, whoever's investing this money for you and managing it for you. So it's just two extra groups of people managing your funds. And realistically, as the owner of the business, you might want to set something up because it's to your benefit as the owner, right? So you can put in your own 401k as well.